Will show the intent, implementation and impact of a 6-week unit of work on resistant materials on design and technology for a Year 1 class, which will be observing, designing, making, evaluating models of playground equipment. I will start off by introducing the intent of a medium-term plan explaining the purpose of design and technology. The aims of the unit of work are influenced by the national curriculum and Ofsted guidance. I will discuss how I'll implement the effective DT lessons by referencing my 3 critical decisions and how I plan to overcome common misconceptions. This will lead to me discussing the intended impact of this unit of work and how the learning will be assessed and evidence provided. In order to explain the intent of my medium-term plan, I'll need to explain what is design and technology. I will include guidance from the national curriculum and Ofsted and talk about what makes an effective DT lesson. And then I will move on to how I will implement this into my planning. So I'll talk about the 3 critical decisions I made whilst planning this and how I plan to address any possible misconceptions. I will then talk about the impact this will have on the learning of the children and how the learning will be assessed and it will be evidence to teach us. What is DT? Douglas refers to DT as the process of inventing or improving things to satisfy practical needs and solve practical problems. DT is centered around problem solving and creating functional products relevant to the user. The national curriculum states the importance of designing, making, and evaluating products with the aim to develop technical knowledge and creating products for a range of users. It also notes the importance of design and technology in a growing technological world. Despite the importance of design and technology, David Banks notes due to research that DT is the most poorly taught subject in primary school. The national curriculum also aims for children to develop their skills in order to design and make high-quality prototypes and products for a wide range of users. What makes an effective DT lesson according to Ofsted? According to Ofsted, an effective DT lesson is when children understand the purpose of the product and the specific design criteria it must meet. DT is effective when the children can communicate their ideas and plans and to develop their technological competence and scientific knowledge. They also noted that technological vocabulary should be used when talking or writing about what they might change as their work develops. During this topic, children will use problem-solving skills to observe how equipment has changed over time, focusing on materials and their properties. This will be through the relevant engaging subject of playground equipment. The intent of this unit is to develop children's fine motor skills through safely using tools and experiment with joining techniques to create an end product. Social and emotional and oracy skills will be developed through group discussion and mixed attaining grouping. Critical thinking skills will be encouraged through the use of probing questions and evaluating their work. This will develop planning skills and enhance their technological awareness and vocabulary. I will implement these intentions throughout encouraging cross-curricular links to science, English, art, history, PE and geography, emphasising the importance of inquiry-based learning through the use of exploration of a playground in the local area, and tying in science around recycled materials. Will also be encouraged to implement this intention and outside learning through learning in the local environment. My 3 critical decisions when designing my medium-term plan involved problem-solving skills. Children will discuss problems with playground equipment in the past and how design and technology has improved over time to begin to understand DT's problem solving. This will then lead to their own designs where they will experiment with joining methods and how to solve problems when joining materials. The use of problem-solving activities and observations will develop children's critical thinking and will be able to be transferred onto other subjects in everyday life. This relates to experimental learning theory, as the children will have their concrete experiences, they'll have active experimentation, and they'll be able to reflect after they have made their piece. And they'll have abstract conceptualization, where they can conclude and learn from the experience based on their design criteria. My next critical decision is the use of oracy throughout the lessons. As Mercer and Littleton suggest, oracy allows children to interthink and reach conclusions they wouldn't have reached otherwise. This can develop their technological vocabulary and help encourage evaluations through peer assessments so they can develop their own self-reflection skills. This also links to cross-curricular of English, where they can reflect and refine their English skills. Curiosity will also be encouraged, as Cross et al. States the importance of encouraging curiosity and learning through using relevant, engaging context for the user. He also explains the influence using everyday materials can have on encouraging curiosity. Social constructivism will be encouraged throughout. The use of talk partners throughout the sequence of lessons and group discussions will help facilitate this. To address possible misconceptions in this unit of work, there will be clear modelling when creating the pieces, and additional adults and other support will be put in place for those with additional needs. Differentiated making activities are in place to support this. Experimentation will be encouraged so children can learn firsthand the functionality of materials through a child-centered approach, applying Froebelian principles. Guided practice will address misconceptions, and retrieval activities at the start of each lesson will aid long-term memory and help address any possible misconceptions before introducing any new learning. The use of questioning will also help tackle any possible misconceptions by being able to assess the children's understanding and tackle these straight away. Assessment of learning. Assessment will be based off progress of observations, design and making and evaluation skills. Group discussions will help assess their understanding of materials and their properties. Peer assessment and self-assessment will give the teacher an understanding of their ability to reflect and critically think about the products and design. The teacher will be able to see how well they can reflect on improvements and make on their designs and the functionality. Plenary activities will also promote assessment after each lesson to gauge the children's understanding. Group discussions will be led with open-ended questions. As Franger states, open-ended questions can make increased cognitive demands on the pupil, requiring them to think beyond the literal. Evidence of learning. The learning will be evidenced through bookwork with clear progression over the sequence of lessons. It will show the children observing, designing and making. There will also be photographs of the children exploring with curiosity the designing and the making elements. Medium-term plan for a unit of work for a Year 1 class aims to teach them about resistant materials and their functionality to improve their critical thinking, social, emotional, and oracy skills. They will learn how to evaluate, make, observe, and plan their designs. And their technological awareness with the world around them should be improved. Their problem-solving skills should develop from this project, which they can apply to other cross-curricular subjects and apply to everyday life.